Hey everybody, got another hobby channel update for you. It's been a while, well over a week. Show you guys what I am doing, what I'm painting, what I'm working on, what's on the table that I'm playing, so on and so forth. And not a whole lot. The past week I have been extremely busy with things outside of the hobby. I haven't really been able to do much. I did get some painting done though, and show you at least some of that. And I will be doing a showcase video of my 63rd foot, which is these guys, so I'll get into detail with them in a separate video. But some of you guys might remember I'm working on a 10mm project. These are AIM figures. I thought they were Pendragon, but they're actually AIM. These are Macedonians. Let's see if we get focused in there. These guys are primed. They're ready to go. They're on their strips. There's about 137 of these Macedonian pikemen that I've got to complete, and they're in 3 different poses. I've got a bunch of them with their pikes at the 45, a bunch with their pikes straight up, which would be these guys, and a bunch with their pikes straight forward. Not as many going straight forward. They're the guys that would be in the front rank. Basically, their pikes are level to the ground. You can get a close-up there. You could see the detail on these models. Very nice. They're about the same size and girth as Pendragon. I don't have any Pendragon in front of me, except for one, and he's a cavalryman, Thessalonian cavalryman. So, judging on that, these guys match up extremely well with Pendragon. AIM, of course, is a company in the U.S., I believe. You can see some of the paint scraped off. I was having issues basing these because they're individual figures, and the surface on these figures is such a small area, it's hard to get them to stick to my card. And I had quite a few pop off in the process here. As you can see, one culprit went missing. He's in here somewhere. So I think I've rectified that situation, adding a little extra white glue on the top. I got to improve my method for that, for how I'm handling these. I'm thinking about putting them on tacks and inserting the tacks in foam and working that way with them. But I don't know if it would solve the problem. They would be glued to the metal tack, which would be a little bit sturdier than this card. But we've all got our ways. There's, of course, blue tack and that kind of thing you can use. This is what I've done for years. But, yeah, the surface is such a small area on these guys. They do actually pop off. But I think I've solved that problem. So, shouldn't be an issue from this point. They don't want to focus. There they are. There you can really see the detail. Just look at that. Very nice figures. So again, there's about 130 plus of these guys I'm working on, all pikemen. And I hope to get them done around the end of the month. So that's my progress so far. I'm not going to show them all, but here's some more inside the little tray here. These guys are all cleaned, and they're waiting to be... Yeah, that don't want to focus. Waiting to be put on their strips and painted. And finally, got these guys finished. I'm going to make a separate video on these. This is the 63rd foot. I finally got the flags done. And these guys will be going up on Forge and Brush. Got the bases done. Lots of nice flocking going on there. So I'm going to show these guys off in a separate video to you guys. And one other thing is I got these militia on the go. And if you remember, I haven't really done anything with these guys since. I won't show these off too much. Come on, focus. But, simple little guy. These guys are almost done. Almost ready to be given their coat, their wash, I should say. And they'll be made available as well. But I do have to pick out some extra figures. And as I've said many times before, I have tons of these Old Glory that I've been painting. And these are the advancing figures. And this gives you an idea. These probably won't focus because it's just bare metal. No, there it is. Gives you an idea of what they look like, how much flash is going on here. Again, my experience with these Old Glories are hit or miss. You know, sometimes you get a lot of flash on a figure. And like there's something there at the end of his musket. I don't know what that is, but that's huge. And they're old molds. And you're going to get a lot of distortions on the model, which occasionally I am confronted with and have to deal with. Not often, but it does happen. So I need to pick, I believe, 3 more of these guys at least. I might pick more. And add them to this unit. And I'm going to be working on these guys this week as well. He's a nice guy. I think a couple guys advancing. Or this guy's not really advancing, is he? He's just standing there. Come on, focus. I think these would be a nice add to my unit so far. There it is. So, yeah. One nice thing is they're about the size. They fit in well with Perry's and Warlord. These guys are just the right size to fit in there. From my experience so far with them, anyway. So I do have these. I've got tons of these figures. And definitely a value for the money. I think there's like 30 in a pack. And what are these? These are Continental troops, I believe. Yeah, these are really nice. Look at that. Like I said, hit or miss. And these guys are hits. These are nice. I like this pose. This is Continental Line. So I haven't really started on these guys because they're later in the conflict. Mostly been focused on 1775 and that era, so I haven't been doing much with these. But I'd love to. Just so nice. And I've always said Old Glory is definitely a value for the money when you want to build armies. You bulk up on the size of an army. These guys make great rank and file troops that just fill in. They're not expensive. Most of the time they take a little effort to clean up, but it's worth it. These aren't Perry's for sure, but nonetheless they fit in well and they're much less expensive and lots of variety in the poses. Of course, we got a guy here taking a musket ball. Classic. Yeah, brutal, actually. So, yeah. These will be for a future project, which probably won't be too long from now. More Minutemen advancing. I pretty much cleaned that pack out. I've got cannon. I've got more Continental infantry, more British marching and march attack and all that stuff to sort through and start new projects with. Yeah, so I'm going to fill in the ranks for these guys this week and try and get them done. So we might see them finished off this week. What else we got going on? Of course, as far as what's on the table and I'm playing, on the table for the past week, I've had Cedar Mountain, part of the Great Battles of the American Civil War series, up. Just about to get started playing. It's been about a week, like I said. But again, I've been so busy. I have been whipping through the 2019 edition of the rule book. I believe the last version I had was 2016, 14, something like that. The one that came with Cedar Mountain. This, of course, came with the recently released Death Valley, which is chock full of goodness. So I've been going through this, taking note of the changes. As you can see, they're marked with little bullets here, little changes to things. And, God, look at that full color rulebook. Love it. I'm pretty anxious to get into this and get it started. I know I've had a few people throw some questions at me. Where's Cedar Mountain? I'm waiting for it. It's coming. It's coming, my friends. I'll get to it. And one other thing I'd like to mention about this, I just noticed in the beginning here, this is the battles book, specifically for Cedar Mountain. And it starts off with just the special rules that apply to the battle. Some of which are optional, like random events that you don't have to use. some of which are kind of mandatory. You have to use it, like fatigue and heat. And then it gets into the scenarios section. And it starts off with this first scenario, which is the historical 1400 start. That's the hours that it starts. I believe it plays till 2300 hours. There's this scenario. Here's you order a battle, and so on and so forth. Here's a second historical scenario that starts a little bit later, at 1700 hours. So this is two scenarios. They're calling these historical scenarios. I imagine they're all historical. And that goes all the way up through here, I believe. So that's two scenarios. And then it goes into this section, which I just noticed the other night. This is alternate scenarios that you can play based on various things that may or may not have happened in the actual battle. And these are various sized scenarios. But the thing I didn't realize is that each one of these little headings here, is a separate scenario. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 additional scenarios on top of the two historical scenarios. Now, I didn't know that. I thought there was 3 scenarios. But there's actually 5 alternate scenarios, as well as the 2 historical. That's pretty cool. That's a lot of gameplay just with this one battle of Cedar Mountain. And these alternate scenarios explore various things that could or could have happened in the battle, which is really interesting if you're interested in this battle and what may or may have happened, or what if this happened. For instance, this one here, the 4th one, Jackson shares the plan. It says, this scenario assumes that Jackson effectively communicated his plan to his subordinates, and the march occurs without a hitch. So, yeah, that gives you an idea how these alternate scenarios work. Yeah, so I'm going to go through these and see which one I actually want to play. Hopefully nothing too big. I don't know if I want to play the full battle. I'd love to, but still, I'm learning the game yet, so I don't want to overwhelm myself. Otherwise, it's going to take forever, and I might lose my momentum and end prematurely just because I lose my momentum. So I'd rather play a smaller game and go with that. So I'm going to go through these scenarios and see what I want to do. I'll probably get a start on that today. I don't know when I'll be getting my first videos up. Basically an introduction, followed by part 1, 2, 3, and so on until the battle is concluded. I'm not sure when I will get that out. We will see. I'm going to really look through these scenarios and see which one I want to do. So there is that. That's what's going on and what's on the table. So look forward to that. I guess that's pretty much it, folks. So that's my update. That's what I've been up to this week, regarding the hobby anyway. And stay tuned. I'm going to post another video on the 63rd foot over here. And hopefully, before the week is out, we'll get started on Cedar Mountain and get this gameplay going. All right, folks, you guys take care. Like, share, subscribe, all that goodness. I really appreciate the support you guys give me. Keeps me making these videos and putting them out, and so on and so forth. But we will see you in the next video. Leave me some comments. Tell me what you think. What you would like to see me play next after Cedar Mountain, of course. And I'll see what I can do. So, folks, you guys take care and hang in there. It's only going to get better, folks. Take care.